Yo, what's good, dudes? It's your boy, Drug Lover 419. Today, I'm going to be doing a little special episode for y'all. I'm going to be rating my favorite and least favorite psychedelic drugs. Now, I know you've all seen the iDubbbz video where he rates fast food restaurants, but today we're doing something completely different. We're rating psychedelic drugs. So we're going to start off here with the absolute classic LSD, acid, orange sunshine, whatever you want to call it. Right off the bat, gonna have to throw that in an S tier. Acid's absolutely my favorite drug. Total acid head out here. I love to get fried. That shit's the jam. Next up, we're looking at DPH, Benadryl. It's a deliriant. Probably gonna have to throw that down in D, cause let's be real. Nobody wants to see spiders. Nobody wants to feel like their body is made of wood. That shit sucks. Next up, Shrooms. These are pretty sick. Gonna have to throw them in A. They're not in S because acid is just so much more hype, dude. Sends me. I can rage. I can party. I can run around. Shrooms, I'm kind of sedated, trying to sleep, you know? Trying to watch like a trippy movie, like still tight as fuck, but just not as tight as acid. Next up, we're looking at... Fuck, I forgot what this is. I think this is Mdma, sassafras. You might know of it. Kind of sick. A little bit neurotoxic. Not the best for your brain. So because of that, we're sending it in A, but a spectacular experience. Next up, we're looking at Ald52, right? Ald52, yes. Orange sunshine. Throwing it right up there in S with acid. It's like acid, but with less anxiety. Straight up, top fucking drug. Orange sunshine. You heard of it from the 60s. Like, that shit is fucking tight. I love that shit. Next up, ketamine, the classic. Weird dissociative. Really expensive. Kind of a confusing experience. You're not totally sure what's going on. So because of that, I'm going to have to throw it in B. Still kind of fun because you can explore the depths of your mind. You can lie in your bed unable to move and just like fly through a cool forest or like the Grand Canyon or some shit. Kind of like you're in a dream, but at the same time you forget who you are, what you are, and where you are, which can be a little disorienting. So because of that, we're throwing it in B class. Next up, we're talking about edibles. This is a controversial subject, all right? Not a lot of people think weed is psychedelic, but with a good edible, you can start tripping some nuts. Gonna have to throw that in B. It's pretty fun, but at the same time, you get really bad dry mouth. You get hella hungry. You get super tired, and like there's a 50% chance you're just gonna fall asleep and sleep through it. And at the same time, if you're at risk of paranoia, that can be pretty risky. Next up, we're looking at Salvia. This is a tough one because for a lot of people, it's a terrifying experience, but if you do it correctly with the traditional shamanic methods and chew it like they've done for thousands of years, apparently it's extremely euphoric. Personally, I've only smoked it, but when I did smoke it, it was still kind of fun. But just because of its potential for sucking fatty dick, we're going to have to throw it in B. Actually, no, we'll move it down to C. We'll move it down to C just because I know that's kind of controversial. But just know if you do it correctly, it can be a spectacular experience, but nobody knows how to do it correctly. So because of that, I think I'm going to throw it in C. Next up, LSA, Hawaiian wood rose. Pretty fun, a little weird, and you vomit a lot. Not a big fan of vomiting, so I'm going to have to throw that down here in C as well. Not exactly the best psychedelic experience. Interesting, but not the best. Not the worst either. Well, that's staying down in Benadryl. Next up, we got Amanita Muscaria. This one's kind of sick. A lot of people aren't a big fan of it because they just eat it right off the bat. You got to boil that shit and then bake it a little, or just dry it out and bake it, and then it like reprocesses it just makes it good, alright? And apparently it's just like being drunk and high. Personally, I've never done Amanita Muscaria, but I've had some first-hand reports from my friends who've done it, and they've had a good time. So because of that, but also because I've heard a lot of people who vomit and say it sucked mega big boy dick, we're going to have to throw it in a B right there in the middle. We got a nice bell curve going right here. Next up, we got Datura. Right off the bat, gonna throw that shit in D. Nobody should do Datura. There's never been a good Datura experience. That shit fucking sucks. Nobody likes Datura. Nobody wants to think there's dead walking people around their house, okay? I've seen a lot of Datura trip reports, and not a single one of them has been good. I've seen some fun Benadryl trip reports, alright? That's why it's still in D, just because it sucks most of the time. But Datura, full on, without a doubt, that is an uncontroversial D tier. Next up, we got DXM. Now, there's a special place in my heart for DXM because that shit's pretty fun. Once you get into it, it's definitely an S. But here's the issue. You vomit uncontrollably for the first hour. Nobody likes vomiting. Once you get through the vomiting, the body feel is a straight S. Like euphoric, stimulating, a little psychedelic, a little fun. But because of the vomiting, gonna have to put that in a B. Next up, this is a great one. This is a real good one. MDMA. Similar to MDA, your body actually will metabolize MDMA into MDA if you take high enough doses. But if you stay safe, drink water, don't do like 9 points in one night, you won't even get that bad of a come down the next day, or when you come down from it, and it's like tight as fuck. You love everybody. It's fucking sick. So I'm gonna throw that up there in S. Next up, we got San Pedro Mescaline. Now, this is an interesting one because personally, I tried to do mescaline and it didn't affect me that much. But when it did affect me, really nice visuals, cozy body feel. I felt pretty good. I felt elevated and out there. So I think with a high dosage, I've heard mescaline could be compared to LSD mixed with Molly, and those are both in S tier. So obviously, we're gonna have to throw it in S tier. Alright, and that wraps up psychedelic drug tier list. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It's your boy, Drug Lover, 419, I think. I'll change it every week because, like, you know, you gotta catch up with the fly ball. But anyway, I'll catch y'all on the flippity flop. If you liked the video, remember to subscribe. If you didn't like the video, let's see those angry comments.